When you see a box that says Bettermaker on it, you know things are about to get analog and real. So in this video, we're going to review the PULTEC core by Bettermaker. Now, what is the PULTEC core? If you're familiar with Bettermaker, this is the company that makes amazing mastering gear, mastering limiters, mastering equalizers, compressors, and now their brand new PULTEC passive stereo equalizer. And this unit is primarily designed for mastering, but you can also use it for various purposes. And in comparison with their other gear, this is the most affordable unit they have. The price is set at 999 euros, or in USD dollars, I believe it's 1250 or something around that value. And this unit, the PULTEC core, has a 100% analog signal path, which means all the processing you're going to do is 100% analog. This is the real gear. You can control everything using the plugin itself. So the way I turn it on, you have the button where you press, the unit is turned on. You obviously do the routing. If you want a separate video on how to connect all of this with your interface, I can make it as well, let me know in the comments. Connect the cables, you're set to go. Route everything properly to the DAW, and you have the plugin. Now this is the plugin that controls the PULTEC core. It's very similar to the plugins they make, except for this is purely used to control the hardware. Now, an important thing you do when you bypass and want to engage the compressor, don't use this bypass button within your DAW. Or if you're, for example, bypassing the external effect or IO plugin in Logic or in other DAWs, in this case in Sequoia I have the external effect, if I bypass this, I'll bypass the whole chain. That's not the thing. Use this engage button. So by clicking this, you'll be able to hear the relay coming out. When you engage, you can see the relay within the unit. Engage, a very simple click. So once we have that out of our way, let's see and hear how this thing works. So this is a passive equalizer, and it's very similar to what the PULTEC does, except for I prefer this over the PULTEC. It sounds sweeter to me, and again, for matching, it's super amazing, super pleasing. So I have various audio demos. Let's go through them. The first one I used is on the master, and the thing with analog gear is that no matter what you do with plugins, you will never be able to create the sound you're about to hear. Notice the fullness, notice the bright at the very top. This is something you can't do with plugins, no matter how good they are. You can get similar, but this sound is very full. Also, you are picking the coloration coming from the box itself and also from the preamp or the converters you use. It also affects the sound. So let's listen to this simple audio demo. Before I show you how this sounds on the next master I have and the next track, consider that you have this like S button right here. Now this is the audition button. So what this means, basically when you adjust the band, you'll be able to only hear that band. This is a creative thing and you can choose to have this on or off. Personally, I use both situations depending on what I need for that specific master. You can also click this B. Here you can quantize the knobs, auto addition, you can recall the hardware, and recalling is extremely easy with this one. So it's the same as you would use plugins. You have the snapshot here and you can use up to 32 units. So now for this specific track, I also went a bit creative. Notice the fullness, notice the punch, and notice the depth. This is really surprised me about analog gear, and this is why I personally use analog in my work. So I mentioned that this is a mashing unit, but you can also use it on drums, and it sounds exceptional. This is how I use to open the drums. I used a bit of a low boost, a low cut. I'm emulating the famous PULTEC trick. I used a high boost and also a high cut. Again, introducing more brightness, but preventing any harshness from happening. Now again, we're in the analog domain, and this sounds exceptional. Let's take a listen to two examples. PQ core also works amazing on pianos. Now this piano is recorded via live microphone and you'll be hearing the noise coming from the microphone. Notice how the PQ core enhances the piano, and that 3K band, which sounds exceptional. As you can see on the high boost, I have quite a bit of a drastic boost there, and also a bit of a hi-hat to treat any harshness from happening on the pianos and balance the energy. Notice how the piano is now much brighter, much more upfront sounding. The PQ core is special for one more thing, really who admires. This is the 28 kHz band. Now where can this work? This can work at the mastering stage, but this can also work for mixing vocals. This adds a very specific type of air, something you don't really expect. And you're probably asking yourself, well, who can hear the 28 kHz? Now this boost is not only at the 28K, this also spreads below, so it sounds absolutely amazing, and it also made the fundamental of the vocals sound more impressive. Let's take a listen.
But nothing to stay afloat, 'cause now I feel it sinking. Don't know what we were thinking, and there's no way out.
Now you're probably questioning yourself why I have two windows here of the PQ core. If you didn't know, you can use PQ core in left and right mode. You can separately affect the left or the right channels. Now this doesn't have to be the only case. You can also use it to affect two mono units. Let's imagine you want to affect the kick and the bass. You can use it like this, or do creative things. And one final test on this track, the vocals you heard with the instrumental. Let's hear how that sounds using the PQ core. And let's just admire the beauty of analog. So I noticed a lot of you are just starting out in the analog world and they don't have a clue how to connect all of this. So again, if you want me to make a specific video on how to connect, let's imagine the PQ core with the interface, and which interface is actually capable, which one is not, and you want a whole video on how to route everything, let me know. I'll be making it for sure. It's not a complicated video to make. And I don't find many videos on the internet explaining it. Very simple and very effective. Make sure to check out the PQ core. Shout out to the Bettermaker. And again, this is not a sponsored video. This is the important thing to say. This is not sponsored. I'm not paid to say anything good about the unit. Bettermaker CEO is an extremely cool guy, and he was like, I'm sending this unit to you. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, just bring it back. You can do the videos, you can do whatever you want with the unit. I want your honest opinion. So this is the most honest video, and you also hear the audio demos. Check out the Bettermaker, check out the PQ core, and see you in another video. Take care.